We are back in this beast.
That's
You know
here.
what I'm saying? Yeah.
Once again, another episode.
Yep. In the books. In
Ash
the
Can Boys.
books. Ash Can Boys.
And who is this episode brought to you by this week?
You know what? This episode is brought to you this week by the great old people over at your mom's house.
Ah,
Right? Aha! I got you, audience. No, just joking. Actually, it's presented to you by that dude who lives down the street, who always asks us for change and shit, but then you find out he's really a fucking mad genius. And
the
he's
one
been
on
using,
on the bicycle.
yeah, yeah, he's really Doctor Doom in his house, dude. And he's like, what's crazy is this, right? So when I was a kid, there was this this like old man. He wasn't even really like old, but he's kind of old. Like he was like a Vietnam vet or some shit. Like he was crazy, right?
Yeah.
And like I went to school with his daughter, right? And like his daughter.
Did she show any traits that she's
Well,
like,
the craziest thing is this, right? Nicole died a few years ago. Rest in peace, Nicole. Right?
Rest
She's
in peace.
super cool, right? But her dad was crazy,
like I know her.
right? You know what I mean? We're just Spanish. But anyway, her dad was crazy, right?
Yeah.
So like he would dress her up in like army surplus clothes.
She would be always commando now.
Yeah. Like she would wear like in the wintertime, she'd wear like his jacket with the patches.
Oh
and
hell
shit.
no.
Like everybody like made fun of her shit. But like what's crazy is that I will never this motherfucker built a fucking helicopter, right?
What?
In his front yard. Okay.
Okay.
In his front yard. He built a helicopter, like a 2-man helicopter.
This
in
man
his
built the
front
whole
yard,
helicopter.
right? And like everybody knew that this man was crazy, but like we fucked with him. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because everybody needs that crazy guy in
Yeah.
the neighborhood.
That's kind of the
you know what
one
I mean?
you have to fuck with, because if you're going to go that far, you kind of onto something. I
Right.
feel like you have to be on
Like
something.
this, like we would go around, and our parents would have, if a kid had like, oh, your parents got an old lawnmower or an old fucking
Yeah.
weed eater.
Let me see that bitch.
We would take it, and
Oh my
you would
God.
take your bike down there. You give him $20, right, and he will put the fucking motor on your bike, and then you got a fucking
you got a dirt bike right
yeah,
there.
dude. Like
Straight up.
it was crazy. Those were my first, and like he would even make it to where like your handlebar,
Yeah.
you would turn the fucking handlebar like a dirt bike, like you would hit it like
actually
just like,
hit that
yeah,
bitch.
like there's no
Yeah.
clutch, but you just you
Yeah.
hit that bitch, yo. Like this shit was crazy.
This
But anyway,
motherfucker.
this man built a fucking helicopter in his front yard, and like nobody thought anything of it until he fucking turned the bitch on.
Yeah.
Like he turned a fucking prop.
He got it to like
helicopter
fucking
plane.
actually be operational.
Yes.
Did he take off?
Yes.
Did he go anywhere?
Lifted it up like above his house
I'm
and
about to
some
say,
more shit.
Did this nigga go to the store or some shit?
He didn't even go anywhere. He just lifted it up and like went straight up, right?
Oh,
And it was like us kids, we were looking at this man like that was like our like if third encounter of a third kind was happening where I lived, that was the case. Because we were all on our bikes and we stopped. We're like, oh shit.
Yeah.
He
That shit is
did
fucking
it.
crazy. That's
Yeah.
some crackhead machinery.
And then there was like 50 white cops out of
Oh
nowhere.
my God. Of course.
Yeah, right.
Right. There's a nigga in there.
Yeah,
I gotta get him.
right. They're like, this nigga is fucking up, though. Like you're going to jail, bro.
That's fuck. But talking about fucking third encounters, bro, you heard about the fucking aliens that are supposedly we found the other day?
What?
We found a spacecraft or some kind of craft, and it had non-earthly like bodies in there.
So what do you? Okay, so when you say non-earthly bodies,
Yeah.
right?
They came from space. We don't know where it came from.
But here's the thing, right?
Right.
So when somebody says non-earthly bodies,
Yeah.
I take that as that this could possibly be. I mean,
How could you possibly explain it?
how
How?
I can possibly
We don't know this creature that
explain
we have
this.
collected in this craft that we've never seen before.
I mean, this is true, but also at the same time, I think that a little person, that's not necessarily a
This
fucking
nigga.
normal body. You know what I'm saying? That's not like a normal body, but
This is 2023.
What if they had face paint?
This-
What if they're in there? They're like, we have face
and
paint
little
on.
ears.
Yeah. Their cosplay ears got fused And now they look, oh, these are real.
Okay, so first of
fucking-
all, how would it have gotten to space? Because you know the NASA doesn't hire.
I don't know. Maybe somebody took a Tesla. They were like, let's do this.
We've tested
fucking
actual
dip.
bodies. Let's test
Yeah.
the little people. Let's see how they fare
Yeah,
out
yeah.
there.
We can't use chimps anymore, right?
Let's
Height and size wise, this makes sense.
Yeah, let's step it the fuck
Height
up,
and
guys.
I know it sounds fucked up, but I mean, this is the government we're talking about.
Hey,
This is, they would
they've been known to do crazier shit,
yeah,
bro.
That's I feel like that. I feel like in the future, like we'll get a movie about space.
Yeah.
Right. And like the space race and shit. And I think that
Oh, it's on its way. We already got Oppenheimer.
yeah, right. Well, there should be a point in it where they're like, oh, people are mad that we're using chimpanzees and dogs, blah. And then I would just want there to be some guy in the corner who was like, well, by technicality, right. And this is back then,
right?
So he's
right.
like, by technicality, midgets are people,
Oh,
and they are the same size, dimension, density, whatever.
They're,
what I mean?
They're kind of half. They're kind of closer to monkeys,
and they're more intelligent. You know what I mean?
Yeah. This will never be fucking.
Right. We can pay them, but we don't have to pay them the full amount.
We can literally just give them half.
Yeah. That's fucked. That's fucked up. That's fucked
and
up.
if they don't come back, we don't have to do anything at all.
I mean, probably back then, yeah. You know what?
We can just ignore it. Just ignore it. They're not gone. What? I can't even see them,
bro. You know what I just thought about, which is probably even more fucked up. It's probably even
What's more fucked up right now?
Okay. Just hear me out. Okay. So
I'm just bracing myself.
Okay. Look. All right. We both of us are black. Right?
Yeah.
Times are hard always for black people, right? Especially being black men. It's just a hard time.
Yeah.
Seems to be all the time.
Right.
Right. Now, it would have been even harder if we were in the times of slavery. Right?
That would be some shit.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy times. But imagine. Okay. Just imagine everybody going through the bullshit. Right?
Yeah. All about like the people that we know?
No, I'm just saying, just black people in general.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
But then you're like, it kind of works in an advantage, but it'd be a disadvantage. It'd be fucked up for them. But working your advantage,
it'd just be
because I would be like, hey, look, like, put me on the ship with like the black midgets. Like, put me on the ship with the black little people.
They would be in like the circus. Probably.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, because you imagine, like,
they'll be in the freak shows.
Like, when they see him, they're like, why the fuck is this kid not getting bigger? Like,
What's
they're
wrong
like,
with
what
you,
the fuck is this thing? They're trying to treat us like, we already gotten treated like shit, but then imagine being a black little person.
Oh, yeah.
And like, God, dude, that was fucking
on some shit. Yeah, you would be doubly shat upon.
Yeah,
on a regular fucking basis.
100%,
bro.
100.
Just being a black person and then being a midget.
Right.
Come on now.
They're like, they definitely not taking
some got to give it. So.
I
feel like they don't even have like their own kind of like fucking civil rights. I feel like they need it the most.
I mean,
the black midgets have gotten it the most.
You know what's funny is that like I always, because I fuck with it. I
have midget cousins.
So look, I have a good friend, right? Who I'm gonna say it,
or dwarf cousins,
or because he is a dwarf, but he was like all midgets, right?
Yep.
I asked him, I was like, hey, like, do you have a problem with being called a midget?
Yeah.
And he's like, no, I don't have a problem with it, right?
Yeah.
And that's why I say it all the time. But like, he's like, I don't have a problem with it, right? And he was like, I was like, so would you rather people call you like little person and shit? And he's like, no. Right? And I was like, why? Well, why though? You know what I mean? And he's like, he doesn't want people to call him little person because it's kind of like, like a dumbass thing to say because you're like, oh shit,
Yeah.
hey, it's a little person, and he's kind of like, oh no shit, like duh, you know what I mean? Yeah, and it's like essentially he's because the way he explains, it, he's like the way is like he's like. That's like me going up and being like, "Hey, this is my nigga friend."
Exactly,
like,
exactly.
Yo,
like you don't sit there and go in conversation just specify. Like,
right.
I don't go to a trans person. It's just like, "Hey, my trans friend." Like,
Yeah,
what's going on?
exactly.
The fuck?
Right. Just like I'm not gonna go up to someone and be like, "Oh, this is my midget friend" or whatever. Right. Yeah. It's like he knows that. Like if I'm describing like, "Oh, this is my midget friend," I'm talking about.
I'm not your black friend. I'm just your friend.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like, and the only time I'm ever like, "Oh, this is my midget friend," is if I'm describing. We're describing the person in the conversation.
Yeah, but they're not present. I feel like because if you're describing a person,
right, and obviously, they're not right.
You don't have to necessarily describe them if they're standing right there.
Right. Because I don't know. I think I'm one of those people too. I think it's weird that like it's cool to like explain a person in a story, but like when people start stories off, and they were like this black guy, blah blah, blah, and you're like, okay,
like what's the whole fucking point of him being the black guy?
Yeah.
It's just the fact that there was.
Yeah, what changes the context of the story because this person was
to that effect though, I will say this. Some black people start like comedy sets like, so this white woman was like,
well, and that's hyper annoying sometimes.
Yeah.
Because it's like me on stage sometimes I'll do race jokes sometimes, right? But it's like I feel like the way about going about doing actual race jokes, right?
There's a little bit more finesse to it.
Well, yeah. Because it's like if you're just going up there and the whole time it just sounds like you're badgering or you're patronizing, then it's horrible, right? But then at the same time, it just seems if you go up there and like you have like I have white jokes, right? That I'll do about white people, and so it's like okay, I know that white people are like, oh, these are funny, but then they'll feel alienated, right?
Yeah.
So you got to make fun of black people. You gotta make fun of your own race. You gotta make fun of fucking Asians. You gotta make fun of all that.
I don't know. Like this past fucking open mic at Sunday, like y'all are. Oh no, it wasn't this. It wasn't Sunday. Never mind. It was a different. I was watching Kill Tony.
Yeah.
And they were heavy on the Jew jokes that night.
Oh yeah,
this past one.
Yeah, because Hans Kim started this shit off.
Right.
Yeah.
And I was just like, damn, everybody went up there and killed though. Like that was a crazy one of those rare ass nights. Right. But like all those race jokes, even though they were at say like if you wanted to consider it at the Jewish expense, but like even so, like all those shits, like everybody fucking laughs at that shit. We're not laughing at them. It's like a point of relevance to a conversation that's bigger than the joke itself.
Right. And it's like honestly, so I think that right now, like in comedy, right?
Yeah.
We are at a crossroads right now.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And we're at we're really at a point I think that we're at the flip over, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like a few years ago we did people were doing comedy, right? Like I would say pre-pandemic even, right? So you got people doing comedy and it's like you can say some shit and be like, "Oh, yeah, that's okay to say that," right?
Right.
A few years before that, you could say damn near whatever you're going to say, right?
Well, some shit.
Right. And then now we got to this point where everybody's like, "Nah, like don't say that, you can't say this."
Because everybody's thoughts are so much more accessible. And even the people everybody who feels disenfranchised has a platform.
Right. But the good thing about it is I think that even in the grand grand scheme, I would just say even on like the grand level of comedy, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think that like you have those people who are like those champions who are gonna say, I'm saying like Dave, fucking like Felipe Espinoza, Andrew Schultz, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
people like that.
Man, I kind of got a vendetta against fucking Schultz.
What?
He's just fucking.
What? Hold on, dog. What? That's my guy, bro. Like, I don't even know that man. But he cool as hell too.
I don't know.
I fuck with his comedy shit.
I don't fuck with his podcast though.
Why not?
Because I don't know his personality. It's something about it, and I haven't really put my finger on it.
Bruh, I think that's
Did
just
you watch that
him.
Whitney Cummings episode?
Talking about Flagrant 2?
With him and what's his name?
Akash?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and their boys.
Yeah, when they sit on the couch and shit.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
the way he was just like going in on her and just like being like aggressive as fuck about a conversation that wasn't necessarily needing that shit. And even like it wasn't even funny. Like it was just like, what are you doing? You're acting like fucking you're not in comedy and you just don't understand, like, you know what I mean, stupid shit. And it's just like, and you're pressing hard about it.
I don't know though, but see, because I think in that even,
and sometimes I think he acts like a little bitch.
oh hell nah, fool,
Nah, shit.
Bro. This man is really, oh my god, nah, bro. I just think that like, I think at the end of the day, Andrew Schultz is really one of them people that he really is just a comic, bro.
I don't
You know
know,
what I mean?
man.
At the end of the day, to me, that's how I look at him. Because
He doesn't feel like Bret Hart to me, so I don't like it.
This nigga said Bret Hart.
Yeah, man. When you say somebody is like the something, I have to think about it because that's like the wrestler's wrestler.
Yeah.
That's how I put it in context. He doesn't feel like a Bret Hart to me. Shout out to my wrestling fans. Just got dumbass.
What the fuck? But
anyway,
also real shit though.
Yeah,
like, I think that in comedy, we have come to a point, right?
Yeah.
To where like those people who have like always championed for comedy and like saying what you want to say and saying how you mean it, I think that those people have really stood their ground as far as what they doing. You know what I mean? And now that we're coming to an era where we're like almost out of the woke shit. You know what I'm saying?
I hope so, man.
Because
this shit's
if
dumb.
you think about it, like, and really, you got to give a lot of props, right? A lot of props to people like Tony Hinchcliffe with Kill Tony, Red Band. You got to give people props like fucking Joe Rogan, shit like that. But you also got to give props to these comics that be on shows and shit like that.
Hell
like
yeah.
William Montgomery, you know
fucking
what I'm saying?
Cam, the new guy.
Yeah.
That boy's killing that shit.
Hans Kim, David Lucas. You know what I'm saying? Giving the props to these type of people.
Hell yeah.
Because,
you're watching history in the making, bro.
Right. But also people like Joe who making a comedy club to where he's like, look, this ain't for that bullshit.
Mhm.
This ain't no club where you come in here and be like, well, you can and can't say this. While if you get offended, leave. You know what I'm saying? So the fact that he making something like that is dope as fuck to me. You know what I mean? And like the venue being nice and all of that is a huge thing, bro. Because it's like sometimes, like I look at it and I'm like, okay, it's a fuck ton of comics, bro. It's a fuck ton of comics out here.
Yeah, boy.
So
shout out to them boys.
Yeah. Shout out to people who for real on their aspirations and dreams.
On some shit.
Are trying to make some shit pop.
Consistently getting better.
Yeah, for real. But
I'm not even a comedian, but like
but you've been around us for so long.
I'm a champion of
You know what I mean? So it's like the reality of it to me is that I'm like, yo, like you got too many people who scared to say nothing.
Yeah.
And then you got people who don't know how to say certain shit.
Yeah.
It's like what'll happen is this: we'll come out of this little woke little time,
right?
And then when we come out of it, it's gonna be a thing to where like motherfuckers gonna either use it to their advantage and gonna be like, yo,
I'm just gonna fold under that shit.
Yeah, you gonna fold up under it. You know what I'm saying? And like fold, and I'm saying they can either take the shit too far,
right?
You know what I mean? Or they just gonna be like, they gonna fucking dial. It'll be like 3 sectors of comedy in a sense. You'll have like, you'll have clean comedy, right?
Then you got the Dirt McGurks.
You got clean comedy, and then you've got fucking like the middle ground, which is like I guess like woke comedy, whatever, right? And then you've got the top comedy, which is
you described it as the top.
I didn't mean it in no bad, you know,
like the explicit guys that don't fucking hold back.
Yeah, the say it with your chest ass niggas.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. The George Carlins and shit like that.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So it's like
honestly, I would have
Dave
considered him a
Chappelle
woke
and
guy,
shit.
like a proto woke guy.
But nah, bro. So like, okay, so I thought about this the other day. Okay, so what if certain comics were still alive? Right.
What's his name? Not it's not George Carlin. What's his name? Bill Hicks. He was
Yeah.
another guy. He was explicit, but he was proto woke. You know what
I
I'm
mean,
saying?
but you could also say the same thing about fucking Lewis Black.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He's been doing that shit for a while. That's why he was on
Yeah.
the fucking Daily Show.
Yeah, that's true. But also at the same time, it's like
I consider
But Lu-
anybody who like talks about like politics or like just general.
yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying, but like, okay, but the thing is like this: Lewis Black is talk about political shit, but
Yeah.
he don't be going all in
Right.
on like he ain't trying to like offend you. He just talk about political shit,
Like
in
his
general.
basic thoughts on some shit.
Yeah, he like schools suck. You know what I'm saying? God, Congress,
Right.
But he not like one sided about.
It's topical.
Yeah. So, but the other thing, whereas you got somebody like you take somebody like Dave, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying, or you take somebody like that who's just like, yeah, I'm just gonna say this shit,
Yeah.
or whatever.
He gets into the nuts of it though.
Right. So like even with George Carlin, bro, like George Carlin wasn't like I don't think he was like a one sided like left right whatever. I think he was just like, yo, I just don't fuck with America and they dumb shit right now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I think if he was still alive, he would definitely be on some cancel shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
Because he would be saying some off the wall shit.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Same thing with like Patrice O'Neal. If Patrice O'Neal was still alive, this
Man,
nigga would
please.
say some off the wall shit.
I would still listen to his ass
every day.
every motherfucker. Did you ever listen to the Black Phillip show?
Yeah.
That was my shit.
The Opie Anthony John too.
No, yeah, the Opie Anthony. I just mainly listen to the Black Phillip.
Power's off, yo.
Yeah.
Guess what that means? That
pee.
means it's time for a commercial.
Are you finding yourself thirsty? And I'm not talking about peaches and eggplants. Pussy and dick. I'm talking about water, bitch. You've been drinking that fucking Monster all goddamn day. You've been fucking sitting in your room, ain't doing shit. You need to go drink some motherfucking water right now. And I'm not talking about a shot glass, bitch. I'm talking about a motherfucking tall order of water. Drink some.
Back to the show.